everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some craft supplies that I was recently gifted from Sophie and Toffee. So as you may know, I work with Sophie and Toffee a lot on my channel and I do videos on their craft subscription boxes and things like that. But I recently received a package which was a complete surprise and they decided to gift me some resin supplies. So I didn't know this was coming. This isn't an affiliate video or anything. I mainly just wanted to show you what I received, and I'll also be testing out these products as well. Before I get started, I would like to thank the team at Sophie and Toffee for being so kind and gifting me these products. So jumping straight in, we have lots of different colors of pigment dye. Now I haven't seen this type of dye before in their elves boxes or any craft boxes, but this is candy pigment dye and I'm imagining that it is very opaque, and like I said, I will be testing it. So I'll just flip it over. As you can see, there's a bunch of different colors. They come in two separate packets. This one is more of a warm toned packet. There's some pinks, purples, and yellows. Some of these colors do look very similar to each other, so it will be interesting to see how they vary. And then we also have this box of pigment dyes, which are all your blues and greens, and there's also some golds and silvers and blacks in there. I really like the way that they look all together. Very pretty and colorful. So here are the two colors that I'm going to be testing. These colors are called Rose and Apple Green. I'm going to be using this UV resin, which is made for silicone molds, to test these pigment dyes. And then I've also gone and collected a bunch of different little molds that I'm going to use in this video today. I started off by pouring some UV resin onto some baking paper, and then I made sure to trim off the very end nozzle of each of the pigments so that it would actually come out. I placed one drop of the opaque pigment into the resin and mixed it in using my toothpick. As you can see, I did go back and add some more of that apple green color into the resin just because I didn't feel like it was strong enough. On the other hand, the pink pigment turned out to be a very strong color and I did only need one drop of that mixed into the resin. So here I am pouring it into the mold, and I'm using the little star mold, and then I just needed to cure this under my UV light. So here is what the cured resin looks like. I think both of these colors are really pretty and they definitely are opaque and colored the resin really nicely. You could definitely use this pigment for thin designs of UV resin, or even drop quite a bit of it into some large batches of epoxy resin for a really nice color as well. Next up, I also received this box of pigment dyes, and these are their crystal something, I can't read it. Oh, crystal color pigment dyes. So here's what the colors look like. Actually, it's very hard to kind of tell when they're all in the box, so I will take them out. So here are all the pigments. It's much easier for you to see once they're all out of the box. I'm imagining the crystal color pigments are a lot more transparent in color, very similar to a crystal, hence their name, and I will be trying those out. As you can see, they do have a very good range of colors. The two colors that I'm testing today are tourmaline and aquamarine. Again, I poured out some of my UV resin and I'm adding a drop of the pigment into each, and then I'm mixing it around using a toothpick. You can tell straight away that these colors are a lot more clear and transparent in comparison to the opaque pigments. Here are the finished pieces. They do look quite dark when they're resting on my hands, but when you lift them up and hold them up to the light, you can see that they are a nice clear but pigmented color, almost like stained glass. Now moving on to the actual resin products. First up, we have these diamond dust UV resin bottles. I'm not quite sure what it means by diamond dust, so I'm very interested to try these out. As you can see, we've got the colors of the rainbow, and then there's also white and black and a few other neutral kind of colors in there as well. These little bottles are much smaller compared to your regular sized UV resin, and these ones contain 10 ml of liquid. This color here looked quite pretty, so it's the one I'm going to be testing, and it's just called light purple. For this one, I'm adding it into my shell mold, and straight away I can pretty much see that it is a glittery resin. So it's a clear base with some glitter inside. This is what it looks like after curing, and you can see that when I put the camera out of focus that it is in fact a coloured holographic glitter. I then have this box of UV resin, and this is their crystal UV resin. So again, I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm imagining it's just a very transparent coloured resin. These also come in 10ml bottles, so you can see we've got the colours of the rainbow, and if I flip over, there's some more pinks and purples, a few darker colours in there as well. This bottle I have here is called Sapphire, and because it does have a gemstone name, I am going to be pouring it into a gemstone mold. This one's quite simple. I just poured it in and cured it under my UV light, and this is what it looks like once it's finished. Again, just like the actual liquid pigments, this one does look quite dark held against my hand, but when you lift it up and hold it in the light, you can see that it is a nice clear colour. In this next box they sent me, we have their Opaque Color UV resin. So as the name suggests, they are opaque resins. Bunch of different colors in here. These are bigger compared to the other packs of resin, double the size. So I'll just take them out of the box so we can see the color range. So here are all the bottles. I've sorted them into similar colors so we can see the different shades. It does look like there is a pretty good range of colors or shades for each color. Probably lacking a little bit in the orange department. There only seems to be this bottle, unless one of these is kind of a very light orange, but overall I feel like there is a good color spread, and you could definitely use these with different projects, so I'm going to try them out now. For the opaque colors, I decided to test this pink one, which is simply called light pink. Again, I thought I would try and match the color with the mold, so here I am pouring it into a flower or sakura mold. This mold was also perfect because the flower is quite thin, meaning that the opaque resin would be able to cure, and this is what it looks like once it's finished. Nice and simple, but a very opaque color. So the final product that I received and I'm going to be testing is this color changing UV resin. So these ones indicate on the bottle what the color change or what the color changes from and to. So we have a green to a brown. We have blue to like a navy blue. There is yellow to pink, red to blue or maybe indigo. This one looks like a bright pink to maybe a grey. And then this final one is also a bright pink, and this is more to like a dark periwinkle kind of color. So I took all the bottles and then I'm just pouring them into my moon molds, and of course curing them under my UV light between each one. Here is the cured resin in comparison to the bottle. I don't know why the clip of the red one is so shaky, but you can see that it actually starts off looking like the bottom color, and then when it is activated, it changes to the top color. It did take me a little while to realize that these are heat activated, not UV activated, but here I have my hairdryer blowing onto the resin, and this is in real time, so you can see how fast the color does actually change. They do change into these really pretty pastel colors, which I feel don't match the labels on the bottles. Whether that's just an error in printing, I don't know. All of these shades are a lot different to what I was expecting going by the labels, but overall this resin does give a really cool color changing effect and could be used in a lot of different projects. So here are all the items together that I received and tested in this video. If you did enjoy this haul, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.